All right, so I'll introduce my husband in case you guys the cooler Myron. It's getting better. All right. Anyway, so Eric has been my little guinea pig. Eric's been a coach for 6 years and has mostly been Emerald, and because of his mom and sister. And then I started building his business to Diamond, and I positioned him in a really great spot and signed him up early in my business. So he does make a pretty great income just from his business, and we don't do a lot for it. But we've recognized the need to with the last couple of years just because of volume. We can really capitalize on building his business. Anyway, so he's tried a couple of times, actually like 10, 15 times.
Yes.
And it just didn't work out because it just wasn't focused. It wasn't laser focused. So we got a hold of the new business activity tracker, and I'm going to let Eric take it away, but he is back to Diamond, is at Success, who will be at Success Club 6 by the end of the day, I'm pretty sure, and is signing 3 coaches this week. So let's hear from the cooler Myron.
So Anita is right. This is not the first time I've tried to coach. But the last couple of times I didn't do the core things that need to be done. And what I kind of realized that I was doing all the showy stuff, not the actual core fundamentals that get you customers and coaches. I was not reaching out to anybody. I was not doing the stuff in the business activity tracker. You know what I was doing? I was posting videos of myself working out. I was posting videos of myself drinking Shakeology and just waiting for the masses to come to me. And that's not how it works. You'll get 1 or 2 of those in a blue moon. But unless you've got hundreds of thousands of followers, you're not going to be attracting that many people to you. And I started to see other male coaches who had way less followers than me recruiting people and growing a team and even going elite. So it was just kind of like, what am I not doing that I should be doing? So it was kind of like, all right, I need to be all in. Anita had just gotten her hands on this business activity tracker. I looked it over and was like, I didn't do any of that. So this is all you got to do. I can do that. So I was like, screw it. I'm going to do it for a week. The first week that I did it, barely did it. Didn't do anything really. Like the first couple of days, and I realized like, I don't invite anybody. That's just, I don't want to do that. I don't post calls to action because I hate posting a call to action and getting no action. But that's part of it. They're not always going to be home runs. You just need to do them consistently so people see that you're consistent about it. So I started doing that, and lo and behold, I have, what was it? I already lost it. 6 people in my streak. 5 of them are active conversations. 1 of them has a link out to purchase. I've never had any inquiries. I've never had any business going. I've never had any, like, already a snowball is going. And it was because I was intentional about what I kind of realized between the call we just did and this call is that there's kind of a little step ladder to getting a team. You're marketing, you're recruiting, and then you're coaching, and then you're mentoring. I was marketing. I've got 6,000, almost 600 followers because I post on social media all the time. I use hashtags. I like getting attention, but I was never recruiting. I wasn't sending out any invites to anybody. I wasn't doing any calls to action. I wasn't actually growing my marketing with intention. I was just kind of just having fun and being a coach, but just doing the marketing part, not any of the recruiting part, which is why I never got anybody to actually coach. I never got anybody who wanted to sign up as a customer, learn what this is, and then want to grow a business. So then I never got anybody to mentor, which a lot of people think coaching, or they get trapped in the idea of coaching when they start out, that it's just, I put out that I'm a coach, I put out that I need to be working out and putting it out on social media, and that's it. They're going to see it, they're going to be engaged, and they're going to reach out to me. Easy peasy. No, that's just your marketing. That's just putting yourself out there. The actual recruiting comes from inviting at least 5 people a day to your challenge group, following up with the people that you've invited, keeping track of them, not just kind of, I'll coach while I watch TV tonight, meaning I'll sit there and I'll message a couple people and then I'll forget about it. But don't worry, I'm still paying attention to Game of Thrones. I'm not lost. Don't worry. It's just kind of shutting everything down, knowing that I need to be working on it. Another big thing for me is when I started doing this, the first couple of days I was like, wow, I don't even have time to do that. So I went on, can't really see that. I went on my Google Calendar, because that's separate from my daily life, kind of like all the appointments that we have in our iCalendar, and I could block off, and I blocked off everything. So I have my morning routine in there, and then I have a gap because that's when I'm getting the kids dressed and getting the kids ready for school. And then I have it blocked off when I have to drive Warren to school. When I get back, what am I doing? I'm having my smoothie. And then I have BAT1. That's my first hour that I can work on the business activity tracker. Breakfast, workout, cleaning, because I do Anita's laundry. Yeah, that's right, boo. And then I have my BAT2, like BAT2, like then next thing. So I have BAT3 if I can fit it in, or I'll do other things if we have errands or stuff I got to run, just so I know if I miss that time to work, I'm probably not going to get another time to work that day. So that's how I kind of shifted to working with intentionality, and this is how I focus that work. I went for the things that I like to do least first. So first thing in the morning, usually actually while I'm hanging out watching cartoons with Warren, because in the morning he just wants a bottle and watch Little Baby Bum. I'll put that on, and then I'll invite 15 to 20 people to the challenge group first thing in the morning. And I found I get more responses from that than if I did it in the evening, because they get the message, and you don't know if they're the type of person that hops on and has time to respond to you in the morning, afternoon, or at night. But most chance, like me, if you respond to me at night and if I've had a rough day and I'm tired, I don't want to get back to you. I'm going to get back to you in the morning, and I'm not going to get back to you in the morning. I'm going to forget because shit's going to go on. But if you got to me in the morning, that's when I'm most active, and that's when I'm most trying to clear everything off out of my inbox and out of my email. So I would probably have told you yes or no to whatever you were asking. So at least you would know. So when I started inviting people in the morning, I would get more responses throughout the day. Also, I had more time then throughout the day to get back to you as soon as possible. So that really took off. The other things, kind of just growing my following, and I've already seen a jump from about 400 story views to 750 story views per day, because I'm actually doing it consistently. Now, that's not typical growth. That's just because the 6,000 followers that I have weren't used to watching my stories all the time because I was so sporadic. Now I'm intentional about it. I'm doing it every day. I'm not just making it a Beachbody poster. I'm posting funny stuff. I'm posting about my daily life, what I'm eating, a little bit about my kids, Anita doing stupid stuff like acting like a sloth on the floor, just getting people engaged. So then when I do reach out to them, because my stories is where I go through who's watching my story. Those are usually the people I message, that I invite. Then I have a good following, and they've already been following me, so I don't feel bad about just throwing out an invite to them. So it's changed a lot for me.
Hey, babe, can you talk about like growers and why you stumbled upon that and what happened? Because you weren't doing the BAT, but you kept like growers on your account. And what happened to your followers? How many did you end up having? And then also, what was like the turning point for having those followers, marketing, but then what was the turning point to turning them into customers? And why Sorry, I'll ask the next question later. Okay, answer those questions.
I stumbled upon Like Growers because some of you might know this. We purchased a shout out page. So we purchased a page with close to 1 million followers on it, and I was trying to grow that. Now the market for shout out pages has tanked. No matter what I could do, I couldn't keep followers on it. So I was researching everything that I could do with using the most hashtags that you can, tagging people, geotagging people. But doing 531 on that, I mean, just wasn't possible. It would have just kind of been a little pointless to do that. So I was trying to find a way to passively do it, which is how I found Like Growers, which is the one I use. But there's also like Followers or something like that. But what it does is it is $10 for 25,000 likes, and you put in some hashtags. You can also have it like the most popular Instagram feed page, like your explore page and your regular feed, and it will like the next most recent thing once a minute, so 60 times an hour. I have it scaled back to 55 because I go in there and like people. And if you're liking more than 70-ish an hour, Instagram will shut you down because they'll know you're using a bot. So I have it scaled back to 55. And then actually we purchase it for $50. We get 250,000 likes. And I've got that running on 2 pages, and it will probably last months. $50 for a couple months worth of 60 likes per minute. And I immediately saw growth in it. Every time I would pop on, I'd have 6 to 10 new followers. If I went to bed, overnight, I'd have 6 to 10 new followers from doing nothing, just having that kind of build. Those people are going to be people who are following you because they're kind of interested in your life. Then they're going to start following your stories. Then when you message them, they're going to be so much more likely to actually respond. So that was fairly cheap and very effective. Now, the big switch you were going to ask, the big switch to when I got done with marketing and when I started recruiting was the activity tracker. Once I started actually messaging people with intention and inviting them to the group. I've done a couple of calls to action, and now they're actually starting to be successful. I've had 2 or 3 people, but I have way more conversations with people I directly message. That was the big thing. I was like, I need to be actively asking, and so far nobody's been offended. Probably if they're offended, they just ignored it or they stopped following me. And then that's fine. I don't want you to follow me anyways. Just hating on me.
So Eric is proof over these last 2 weeks. He had the plan. It was very simple, nothing crazy. He didn't 10x, 100x anything. He just made sure at the end of the day, kids are in bed. I'm getting ready for bed. We look at our bat and we're like, nope, I didn't do those things. Better do them or do them tomorrow morning, double. And then we were each other's accountability partner, because I can't tell you how many times back when I was first starting that I would say I do the business activity tracker and just never do it. And there's so many items that I was missing. I had no idea I was missing them. So from a leader standpoint, so those of you with coaches, how can we better implement this on our team? And something I've done is these accountability pod calls with each of my coaches who are pushing for elite. And then I have my own personally sponsored new coaches in a pod call. And every night they have to send in their business activity tracker at 10 o'clock. That's the cutoff. Why am I doing this? I am not looking at their bat. I am not scolding them or reprimanding them. It's just so they go, oh crap, I got to go do that. Yeah. Because they'll see everyone else sending it in. And then if they get to the end of the month and they go, I don't get why I'm not having success, let's scroll back. Okay, you're missing inviting for half the week. You missed posting. All right, so let's do that. Let's focus on that. And if you have, and now you won't have a coach that just says, I don't know why I'm not succeeding. I have no idea. I haven't tracked. It's the same thing with to be mindset. I don't know why I'm gaining weight. I haven't tracked. Tracking with this is key. And I'm guilty of thinking, I don't need that. I'm 15 star. I did this without that. But my business did decline as soon as I stopped doing the basics and doing it consistently. So I've been implementing the basics with Eric, and we have signed 18 coaches in the last 2 weeks between the two of us. Like, I placed them under him, and they knew that. The customers knew that.
Her computer just died. I heard her yell that from downstairs. So that's good, which is my computer because she broke her computer. But do you think people will think you're fake if your likes spike like that? Nope. Most of the time, like I can't tell you a single person on Instagram who I know how many likes they give out. Nobody would notice that. And you know, I always see the same people on my stories and the same people who like my posts. Like, I have 3 cousins, without fail, will like every single one of my posts, and they watch my story every single day. Not one of them as a coach has ever had interest in coaching. They follow me every day. They're not using like growers. They're not using anything, but I know that they follow me every single day and have no interest in it. They just love my life. So I don't think anybody's going to think it's weird if you're suddenly liking a lot of posts, especially like growers. It's not, you can have it not do your own feed and just random hashtags. So those are random people. So it's all reach out, you know? So, but it is nice if it is doing your personal feed, because that'll show the people that you're following that you're interested in them as well. So it just kind of shows that you're showing up, even though you're not. No. I don't know if she's coming back.
So Eric, someone had asked, like, what do you share in your Instagram stories, like throughout the day?
Well, first of all, Fit Happy Dad, you should check it out, watch my story. But really I just kind of try to literally make it a mini story of my day. What am I usually doing in the morning? I'm hanging out with Warren because he gets up at 6 a.m. with me. So it starts off every day with just a, hey, good morning with him. I get tons of messages like, oh my God, he's so cute. Then it moves on. Like, I don't show them me. Now, if I make Scarlett a particularly healthy breakfast, I'll show that. But just like the rest of it, I don't. Then I get on. The next thing that I start when I get home is working the business. Maybe I'll make a little business post, time to get down to business, show that I'm working on my tracker, not anything too much detail, but just kind of showing that I'm working a business from home. And then next thing is breakfast, show them what I'm eating. Next thing is workout. Hey, we're here to work out. I try to mix it up a little bit, but also I want them to see what my day is like and what their day could be like. You know?
It's Anita. If I only posted what's on the BAT, I'd still rock, because it tells you, recognize success, post about your workout, post about a product. If I do that every day, nothing else. I mean, you need to post about personal stuff, but I'd still rock it by just doing that. So if you're looking for stuff to post, it's all in the BAT.
Yeah. And there is a little bit of trying to have a little flow to your story. I remember somebody messaged me because I posted just a story picture with me and Otis, one of our cats. And then went around, did some other stuff. And then I was meal prepping for the next 3 days. So the next photo was me cooking some ground beef. And he was laughing because it looked like I was like, here's the cat. Now I'm cooking the cat. So having a little bit of an idea on what you posted before is smart. But for the most part, people just want to see a glimpse of your day. Me personally, though, when I go up onto somebody's story and I see that they have 40 different dots up there, I'm probably going to skip to the next person. Filling your day with a bunch of nothing can be as bad as with absolutely having nothing. So you don't just want to sit there and talk. I always get on Anita when she gets on there and she posts these epic monologues of 15-minute clips where she's just talking. I'm like, why didn't you go live? You were talking for like 15 minutes. Just go live. Because if I saw that next, I can't even skip through it if I wasn't interested because it would take so long. So use live if you're going to talk for anything more than like a minute and a half. Other than that, what is she doing right now? Yep. Yep. Other than that, just try to have a mini story of your day.
People message me all the time. I love your monologues. So there.
Your mom messages you all the time.
Real people do message me, and they say they love it. 1 out of 3,000 a day.
Are those the same Indian dudes that send you inappropriate pictures on your Facebook?
Yes. No. All right. Continue.
I don't know. I'm totally lost now.
Eric, someone had asked about, did you talk about pods, group pods?
So pod groups, there are, I think what they're talking about is like and engagement groups. So it'll be this giant thread and you can post yourself in there. And what you're supposed to do is like and comment on everybody else's post that's in there. Those are Anita's pods?
Yeah, sorry. I meant Anita mentioned that she does like groups, like pods where she has them post their business activities out there. So I was wondering who is in each of those different groups.
Yes, I will chime in on that. So for my coaches that are pushing for 5-star and above, I have them add all of their coaches that have hit Success Club in the past or are almost there and want to go diamond. So usually there's about 5 of us in there, 5 or 6. And then each night we all post our BAT. And throughout the day we send encouragement and then like each week we might be like, okay, this week we're going to 10x inviting. Next week we're going to 10x adding to our network. And we'll do little challenges. So those are the people that are pushing for elite. And then I have a chat for my 2018, 2019 new coaches who are pushing for Success Club. And there's about 20 people in that chat. And we send our BAT every day. Interestingly, I've never done this before, but maybe only 3 or 4 are sending their BAT at a time. So now I see why not all 20 are going to hit Success Club. They're not all doing it.
Yeah.
The ones that are hitting the BAT up and doing it every day are hitting Success Club. So it's for me when somebody comes to me goes, I don't know why I can't hit Success Club. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll go and I'll scroll and I'll be like, you never sent the BAT. So I don't know. I can't help you.
And it again, that's highlighting a weak point in your coach and gives you an opportunity to reach out and be like, hey, I just saw that you haven't been posting your BAT. I just wanted to check in, see where you're at, see if you're struggling in any area. You know what I've been struggling to find the time or whatnot. And so then you can work on either blocking out their day. What's the hardest part? Are you really feeling uneasy about something?
And we're not reprimanding or smacking anyone on the back of the hand. We're just using it as data. Nobody is being told, hey, where's your BAT? It's, okay, we're not getting to Success Club. Let's go see where we can improve. It's always positive direction, never negative. And so please don't ever tell your coach, I'm disappointed in you. Why did you miss it? You're out, you're out of the next training because you didn't do it. It's not about that. It's about data. And it will teach your coach itself. You don't have to do anything. If they're not posting their BAT and not doing it, that's the answer. It's not anything that you've done or that you can do. It's them doing that consistently.
I wish there was like a nice rhyme, like if like the plan or fail to plan and plan to fail, except it's about tracking. Fail to track, fail to attack or something. But it's true. If you're not tracking, you're not going to know why you're not growing. So
I think there is one. Anything, didn't it's like anything you track you can change or something? So you could use that for like.
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah.
I forget where I heard that, but I always remember it.
We're going to spend the next 30 minutes coming up with ideas on how to name this. Let's go.
Well, and I feel like even as like someone, I feel like I've been doing this for a long time. And I think even back like when Anita started, when I started, social media was definitely different. It was kind of like fishing with dynamite. I mean, I could post a call to action or just like talk about the business and people were interested. Like people were commenting on posts. People were like blowing up my inbox. And all of that has changed. Social media has changed so much. The platforms have changed so much that if I'm not doing this too, my business isn't growing. I mean, I have to be out there inviting, sharing in stories, doing calls to action, like sharing my life, but also like making connections, doing follow-ups, like all the things that I used to slack on. You know, my follow-up game used to be horrible because there was just always an influx of new people coming in that I could be like, they're not interested, like whatever. And now a huge majority of my business is follow-ups, like people I talked to like back in the fall or back in the summer or, oh my God, last year for 80-day obsession, but then never did anything, who are like, okay, now I'm ready. I watched you do this for a year. Now I'm ready. So for me, it's vastly changed over that last 8 years. And as a leader, I've kind of had to like learn a new system in terms of, you know, consciously growing my business. So
just like when we purchased that, the shout out page, we would do a shout out for Anita and get 400 emails. Now, and then by the time we converted it to our couples page, we do a shout out and they would get 10. You know, it used to be so easy just to get a bunch of random emails. But when you're only getting 10, probably none of them are going to sign up. So we needed to convert that into something actually useful.
From a leadership standpoint, guys, if you get like 5 or 6 coaches on your team and they're doing this BAT, you have to do it too. You have to be in the trenches with your coaches. And let me just remind you, the first 8 diamonds that I had are no longer coaches. Just to give you some sense. So getting in the trenches, doing it alongside them, and continuing to kick butt in Success Club sets the example as a leader.
Yep.
Anybody want to add anything?
Yeah. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about or cover in our time here?
Oh, and the other thing that I think we talked about in the last one is getting your new coaches to understand how to grow their Instagram as best as possible. And right now it is, and Instagram has put a big push with their algorithm for you to get organic growth, which is 531 method and hashtagging and geotagging and everything like that. Like you can't buy likes anymore. It will tank your account. So getting your coaches to understand, take some good pictures, post 3 times a day, use your stories, hashtag everything, and try to make it as easy as as possible. Like showing them how to make a pre-made hashtag list that they can just paste onto every single thing, and just kind of almost having like an initial one to just be like, here you go. Here's how to hashtag for fitness stuff. Here's how to hashtag for family life, you know, for healthy food, for just general stuff, because you just didn't know what to hashtag it on. Anything that they can do to organically grow their Instagram, the better. So, yeah, that's a big one.
Oh, Caitlin had
Somebody
asked,
had a question.
on average, how many times a day are people posting? And I assume you meant Instagram. I post once a day. Every day, once a day.
If you're starting out and you want, like in my experience, if you're starting out and you're trying to aggressively grow your amount of likes and your amount of followers, you should be posting a lot. Eventually, you should only be posting if it's a quality post. If the picture looks good and you have something to say about it. Posting something that's just like, look at my cat, and it's a bad picture of a cat, you're not going to get any likes. You're not going to get any engagement. Instagram is going to kind of lower your ranking as far as how much they're going to show your own followers. So it's when you start out, just get them used to posting a lot, and then shape them into posting well and only posting good content. So. All right.
Was that it? Anything else, guys?
I was trying to unmute myself. It's me again. Okay, so I post like sometimes 2 to 3 times a day, sometimes 1 or 2. But guys, I'm posting on my Insta stories all flipping day. Like, I know it sounds really daunting and tedious, but the more you're in people's stories, the more their relationship is built with you. The more they're like, oh, I feel like I know her, because it's just like you're always there. I know I follow Raina's. Hers is awesome. She's a great example. You feel like you're a part of her life, and that's the relationship you want to build, and you want to build it with as many people as possible, not just a few. Another great Insta stories that I love is Emily Faber's. Jamie Innes is great too on there. Amy Rada is great.
Fit Happy Dad, he's great.
Leslie is amazing. I'm amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of and sometimes if I just maybe want a new fresh idea or whatever, I'll go check out a couple of coaches Instagram stories and just see what they're doing, what they're trying, and then go try it for myself and see if it works out.
My easiest thing on how I find inspiration, especially when we travel and I want to find a good photo idea, or if we go to a new restaurant and I want to find a photo idea, go to that restaurant's Instagram page or something and just look at the top posts. Oh shit, that's a nice photo, easy to take, and I probably wouldn't have thought about that. Boom, now you have a good looking photo. Who cares if you copied somebody? The chances are nobody's even going to realize that, and nobody would care even if they did. When we went to the place in Mexico, not Hard Rock.
Oh yeah, Unico.
Yeah, I would go on their page, and it's just flooded with great pictures. And it's just like, hey, Anita, stand here. If somebody else did, I'm going to get a picture of you. And we ended up with a bunch of great photos from there. So it's a great way to get inspiration, or just fill in. I don't want to think about a post right now. Just use that to find one. Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
That's it for me, though.
All right. Anything else, guys? If not, we'll let you go.
I've come to Instagram.
Okay. Sorry.
It's just an app that I really use that I feel helps with your aesthetics, and I always get my coaches to use it as they're trying to plan it out, is the Plan app. It's PLANN. You can literally put your pictures in there, move it around so you can get a good idea of what your grid will look like. You can put in your posts and so then you can copy and post, and it'll send you right to Instagram. So just if I know I get ideas, and I tell my coaches jot them down if you have thoughts, and then you can put the picture in, put the post in, and decide, all right, maybe I'm going to post this in 2 days because I'll need something. So that has helped me a lot, and it's helping my coaches too.
One last thing Anita wants to say, is that I'm drawing a blank. Holy crap, I'm getting old. You do not be afraid of calls to action. I know some of you guys have been oh, what's too much? How much is too much? I do a call to action every day on almost everything. So if you are posting value, don't be afraid to also slide in a call to action. If you're posting a video of you working out, put a poll. Would you like to learn more about how I get paid to share my workouts with you guys?
Yeah. Or instead of doing a poll, because if you've got a bunch of people who say no, and then somebody finally clicks yes, and it says, oh, 90% of people said no, have something that's like, send me a message if you want to learn more. Don't ask. I would not do what Anita said. Don't ask, especially if you're starting out, don't ask a question that could potentially make it look bad. When people post a call to action on their feed post and they get 0 comments, that hurts a little bit. That can be a little self-esteem, like, oh, dang, maybe I'm not meant to do this. But if your post said, DM me or email me, then nobody should expect to see any comments of, I'm in, let's do this. Because they wouldn't know how many people actually messaged you, which continues their FOMO, their fear of missing out. So they want to message you just to find out more. Don't set yourself up to let other people see if nobody was interested in that post. Because I've posted even amazing photographs that I'm like, this is going to get 1,000 likes, and it gets like 15. Just because I posted it at a bad time of day. I wasn't thinking. I posted while everybody was at work. And I'm like, there's no reason that post should have done bad. If that was a call to action, I would have felt discouraged. Now, if it was something where you reach out to me, then nobody will know. Only I'll know if that didn't work, and I'll just readjust. Didn't work that time. I should do it either earlier or later or on my story, just some different way. So there you go. Especially with new coaches. New coaches will like knowing that. That was a big, a hang up for me. I'm like, that would really suck to put yourself out there in a call to action and nobody messages you, when in fact that's probably what every single person's going to get for the first month, because they haven't built up any trust yet. So it's letting them, it's giving them that expectation. Probably nobody's going to respond. Don't worry about it. You're setting yourself up for next month when you're going to crush it, when you're going to have follow-ups, when you're going to have people interested, when you're going to have consistency built up. So.
Well, and I think one of the biggest things that we don't preach enough anymore, and maybe I'm just going to start, but when I started, the biggest thing, like the mantra at the time was like, be here in 1 year. And it just made you think, like everyone said, like for your fitness, for your business, like if you want this to be a thing, you got to be here in a year. You got to give it a year. And I remember everyone saying that when I started. It was part of our game plan training, if you've been on that long. And I just remember thinking like, okay, like I have to give this a year, like for my fitness results, to have anything in my business, like I'm going to have to give this, like diligently working on it for a year. And I think so many people come in today with this thought of like a few posts on Instagram and they get nothing and are like, it doesn't work, I'm done. But the reality is like, you can't grow any kind of business without probably at least a year of just showing up every freaking day until it takes off.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with their fitness. You're not going to work out for a week and be ripped, y'all, ready for summer. It's the same thing with your business. You're not going to throw a couple of posts up and just be ripped. You're not going to be speaking on the national wake-up call because you made that one call to action, yo. It takes time, just like your fitness.
Yeah. And I think it's so important to spread that message through our challenge groups, in terms of like, staying on Shakeology, continuing with like Recover or Energize or whatever they're using. But like making that known to your teams, like through your downline, that it isn't overnight. It isn't 1 week. It isn't one post. It isn't 1 month. Really you have to give it at least a year. And even at a year, I was consistently earning a weekly paycheck, but it was not always like amazing.
Yeah.
Time. All right. Well, thank you guys for being on. Thank you, Eric, for sharing with us how it's going for you.
No problem.
I will download this and get it up on YouTube. Thanks, guys.